They come from everywhere, in pickup trucks, in RVs, in family sedans. They come from all walks of life to enjoy one of the most fascinating of all motorsports. This is SCORE Off-Road Racing, where up to 250 vehicles of every description battle the terrain, the elements, and the clock to claim victory and fame. This is SCORE News.
I'm Jorge Jarrin, and welcome to SCORE News. Today we come to you from the race shop of Team McPherson. This is the first race of the 1997 SCORE International Off-Road Series. And for the 24th year, SCORE International racers will be visiting the picturesque town of Parker, Arizona, located on the lower Colorado River. With me today is a 22-year veteran of SCORE International Off-Road Racing. Charlie Engelbart is a SCORE official, and he'll be giving us the color commentary and details of this amazing race in the desert. Charlie, tell us about the significance of the first race of the season.
Well, this race is important, Jorge, because a lot of companies and race teams have changed their strategy since the Baja 1000 in November. So they're trying out new chassis configurations, new suspension, new motors, even new drivers. And the all-important point race for 1997 starts here. And so they're going to be doing this with real time, real race conditions with the dust and all of the rough conditions here on the Arizona desert, plus the competition, which adds stress to the drivers.
Parker, Arizona, located just 275 miles east of Los Angeles, alongside the cool waters of the Colorado River. Parker is a mecca for the water sport enthusiasts, sportsmen, and rockhound alike. Parker is rich in the history of its Native American past, with the influence of such tribal nations as the Navajos and Apaches seen everywhere. Disguised in beauty, the desert surrounding Parker can be subtly brutal to the off-road racer here to challenge it. So Charlie, what happens the day before the big race?
That's Contingency Day. It's a time for the public to get a close-up look at the people and machines here to challenge the desert. SCORE Racing is a real family affair. It also serves as a time for the SCORE officials to inspect the race vehicles, but a question often asked drivers is, why do you race in the desert?
But I love getting bumper to bumper with guys, and I love the competition. And open desert is just, I've been doing it for years since I've been a kid, and it's the most fun.
Well, I think in my individual case, I think it's my love of the sport to begin with, and I've always loved the desert and been around the desert most of my life. And I like the camaraderie of the people. They're down-to-earth people, and you don't have the egos involved that are necessarily to other forms of motorsport. And I think the real answer is that I just love the people and the association with those folks.
With the desert in your car, the way you prep it, and you come out here and you find out, how good your car is. It's a big thing, It's an overall thing. Your family's involved. Just a big emotion. Each race, it's a different story you got to tell. So just something fun, something fun.
I think it's the challenge against yourself. You don't have, you're out there for a lot of hours. There's no big crowds or anything. It's just you and the desert.
I've been racing for about 15 years now, off-road primarily. We keep coming back to the off-road because of the thrill. It's kind of interesting because I've road raced, I've done the roundy round in the circle track, but the three-dimensional aspect of desert racing just kind of gets you going. I'm a lawyer by trade, and this gives me something to do other than sitting in the office with my suit on all day. And I love it. It's great. I'll do this the rest of my life.
Contingency gives everybody a chance to inspect the vehicles and to talk with their favorite drivers in person. And here is one of the real legends of desert racing.
It's a lot of fun. It's an opportunity for these guys to get out and do their own thing. Naturally they don't have to do it for a crowd or anything like that, but they can go out and certainly enjoy driving fast and getting a lot of experience in driving and sliding the cars around the corners and through the bumps and all that. And it's tremendous development for all the equipment.
Parker 400's about to begin, but first, Charlie, give us the details of this race and the different classes of vehicles that compete.
Well, Jorge, the Parker race is 400 miles. It's 3 laps. It starts at Blue Water Marina at dawn, and we have 16 classes, starting with a high-dollar trophy truck all the way down to the Class 11 bone stock sedans. And someplace in between is a class for everybody to compete in. And this is the philosophy of SCORE International.
The first vehicle leaves at 7 a.m. sharp, followed every 30 seconds by another competitor. Driver Kurt LeDuc gives us his pre-race thoughts.
Well, for the past 10 years, I've had to deal with the dust and the rising sun here at Parker. So I know the huge advantage it gives me just to be settled down in the car. The wind will pick up. The second lap will show the competitors that we have to deal with. And right now, we just have to go out and beat the desert here at Parker. Those rocks are brutal. The American racing wheels we have, the new 17s, we're really looking forward. It should give us a big advantage.
Kurt LeDuc's Jeep Cherokee is first off the start line with a clear road ahead. Next off is number 39, Danny Lettner in his Chevy Trophy truck. Number 72 is the brand new all-wheel drive Chevy Trophy truck driven by Jeff Lewis.
My driving style has changed tremendously. The overall speed of this vehicle is much higher than the little truck. It's got almost 800 horsepower, and the top speed's around 140 versus maybe 120. It goes through bumps much faster, having over 2 feet of wheel travel versus just over a foot. You know, it's got twice the truck, so you gotta be able to drive twice as fast.
Watch as 800 horsepower lifts the front left side up as Lewis charges off. Next trophy truck is the beautiful number 19 Ford driven by Ed Herbst. Next is Mike Tiemann in the number 7 Chevrolet.
Let me tell you a little bit about what a trophy truck is. The trophy truck must resemble a full-bodied production vehicle, 2- or 4-wheel drive, and as far as the drivetrain and chassis, anything goes. And here's where you'll find up to 800 plus horsepower on some of these babies.
First off the line in Class 1 unlimited buggies is car number 101, Carlton Post. Next is Reuben Wood. Followed by Corey Sheeler in number 103. Number 106 is driven by veteran Troy Herbst. Number 109 is Mark McMillan in his beautiful buggy. Number 119 is Toyota powered and driven by Bob Gordon. And last off, but brand new to Class 1, is number 124, John Herder.
All right, now for the Class 1 description. Call it a downsized trophy truck without a production body, 1- or 2-seater, any size engine, unlimited suspension and chassis.
This is Kurt LeDuc, your current leader, and you can see this is the slowest section of the course where the suspension comes into play, not the high horsepower of the trophy truck.
Charlie, when you mentioned the slowest part of the race, how fast are these guys still going?
They're still going 30, 35 miles an hour, but this is not where you'd want to take a rental car. This is Jeff Lewis in the number 72 all-wheel drive, and he's using all 4 wheels to the maximum going through this particular section.
So it's not just engine and horsepower at this point.
No, it's finesse and trying to deal with all of the roughness of this particular section of the course. Now, Jeff's already gotten around one vehicle.
Now, with this type of terrain, I would think that this is the great equalizer between the Class 1 series and the trophy trucks, right?
Well, the buggies weigh about half the weight of a trophy truck, but you can see with Ed Herbst here, he's using every bit of his suspension also. And this is Mike Tiemann in the number 7 Chevy. This is kind of a mid-engine application. And then you've got McKinney in a more standard bodied configuration trophy truck.
So the early morning sun, you got all this dust, you've got this washboard type of terrain. It's really knowledge of the course that really makes a difference.
You just don't go out on the Parker course for the first time and go to race speed. Here's the buggy coming through, and you can see how they pick their way through. Different style, they weigh half the weight. And they get bunched up. They've already gone into the configuration of the trophy truck starting lineup, and they're picking their way through.
Dust. It's amazing they can see in front of them.
Well, sometimes they don't totally see everything in front of them, and they kind of bump the guy in front of them.
Right there. Looked like he tapped him right there.
That's kind of let them know that they're there. That's Ed Herbst, and here's Corky McMillan in his Cheneth.
Welcome back to Score News and more race action. Here we're at the starting line for Class 8.
The Class 8, 801, Mike Giannatasio. Number 802 is David Bagno in his silver Ford F-150. Number 803 is the Chevy driven by David Westham. Number 804 is the Chevy driven by Brian Collins. Number 805 is the Chevy driven by Dale White, who is the teammate of Brian Collins. Number 800 is the AutoZone Duralast Ford truck of David Ashley. And last off the line in his Ford pickup is 839 Lonnie Helmbolt.
Okay, what kind of race vehicle falls into the Class 8 category? A full-bodied production pickup truck, 2- or 4-wheel drive, with limits on suspension and engine displacement.
First off the line in Class 10 is 1001 Chris Harold in his VW-powered buggy. 1003 Jim Saponovich punches the gas in his VW buggy and heads toward the rising sun. 1004 is the VW buggy of Bill Hernquick. Following is Larry Fodrell in his VW-powered 1005. Jerry Penhall of Costa Mesa is next in 1006 with Toyota power. 1007 is driven by Rod Muller, and he has Pontiac power. And last off the line is 1049 Robert Harvin in a VW-powered buggy.
Now let's talk a little bit about Class 10 buggies. These vehicles can be air or water cooled with motors limited to 1650 cc's. The width of the suspension is limited with a co-driver optional.
This is part of the higher speed section. This is Kurt Leduc in vehicle number 43.
And Charlie, now that you've mentioned the higher speed section, last time we looked at these guys, they were moving about 30, 35 miles per hour. How fast are they moving now?
Well, we're looking at vehicle 72, Jeff Lewis, and he's probably doing over 100 miles an hour coming down through this section. And this is the mid-engine trophy truck, car number 7 of Mike Timon. Well, and then coming up through the trophy truck ranks right now is Carlton Post in car 101. So they're starting to move through the line as we see car number 57, McKinney, come through this section. And here's Troy Herbst in his buggy. And this is Ray Kroll in the Grove Lumber car. Followed by Corky McMillan out of San Diego. And you can see how they maneuver through this washboard section and this wash. And this is Wilson. Look at it.
Now look at that jump.
And this is 124 Herder. This is his first time in a score race.
These
and
class 1s are so light and so nimble.
And this is Bob Gordon in the car Jenna. Look at this. Look, this is Brian Collins, the Class 8 804. Followed by David Westham in a Chevrolet. I mean, just look at the pounding. This is Dale White.
Look how close they are to each other. I mean, they're really just right on their tails. This is a tight race.
Oh, this kind of terrain will bunch them up. It'll just bunch them up big. This is the Ford F-150 of Vanyo. Now here comes your buggies. This is your leader in Class 10, and that's the Harbor Diesel entry driven by Zaponovich. And then they get really bunched up in here.
This is where that tail tapping comes into play.
The bumping. They've already passed one of the Class 8s. And as you can see, there's not a lot of room to pass. This is 800 David Ashley. And that's the Pontiac powered buggy of Rod Muller. Jorge, here's your leader in Class 7. That's the Chevy S10 from Team McPherson Motorsports of Larry Rossler.
Well, here you can see how rough this desert terrain really is as they pick their way through this pass. At some points, it looks like they have to practically slow it down to, oh gosh, what, 5 miles an hour to pick their way through?
Oh, at least, if not all the way stopped. This is the Ford Quaker State Ducati entry of Bob Land.
You know, and his wheels, there are wheels coming off the ground there practically. It's not speed, it's really technical, isn't it?
It's very, very technical. And to get into the technical aspect of Class 7, it's got to be a stock production vehicle manufactured in 5,000 quantity in a year period.
Well, here we can see they've really been bunched up. I mean, they're going to be this way the whole race, just right on top of each other as they make their way up the hill. Look at those rooster tails kicking up.
Rooster tails of dust and rocks. With all the dust, some of these cars do not have windshields. This is race leader Kurt Leduc in his Jeep Cherokee 4-wheel drive, and he's really pushing it through this section of the course. Trophy trucks really shine here. Earlier this weekend, we caught up with Kurt Leduc, and he talks about the course at Parker.
It's the challenge. You know, trophy truck, the complexion's changed, but you know what? The number one thing we have to beat here at Parker, or in any desert races, is the desert. You know, we're still taking the best metal that you can buy, and we're heat treating it with the best advice of the best engineers, and this desert still breaks every part that's ever been made.
This is car 106. He's moved up quite a ways in the Class 1 ranks. That's Troy Herbst in a Porsche buggy.
This is one of the Herbst brothers, two brothers racing in this race, right?
Right. One's got a trophy truck, and Troy's in the Class 1. Look at this move that Herder puts on Ray Kroll.
There's the tap. You see the little tap to let him know I'm right behind you.
Now I'm going to go around you.
Oh, boy. Look at this. This is real racing here.
And this is John Herder's first time in a score event.
That's what's hard to believe. Look at this.
This is off-road racing.
Look at him get airborne. Just amazing.
Earlier, we talked to John Herder about his transition from quad racing to Class 1 buggies.
I've got my own construction company that my dad helps me out with, and that I was building that through the past years and years and years. I've always wanted to get into a car, but we started out on a bike, and then on a quad. We did real good on the quad. Won the Baja 1000 in '87. Won Parker a couple times, and all the Arizona races. We were season points winners for 4 or 5 years, and have always wanted a car. The very first car that we got was Bob Ritchie's old car, and it was about an 8-9-year-old car, and it was nothing like this. But as soon as I could afford it, I stepped into the Gymco, and just started off from there.
This is car 112, Wilson entry. Out of San Diego, this is car 109, Corky McMillan.
They look like they're coming out of a fog here.
And this is 119, Bob Gordon in the Toyota Chenis. This is car 103, that's Corey Sheeler. That's like driving in fog.
Now here come the trophy trucks.
Yeah, that's Jeff Lewis in the all-wheel drive Chevrolet, and the buggy in front of him is 1006 Jerry Pennell. Look at this move.
Here's just brute power. Look at that.
Imagine the rocks and stuff that are coming up on all 4 wheels.
That buggy's probably hitting rocks the size of footballs.
Grapefruits at least. This is Herbst's trophy truck number 19, and he's got some problems here.
Yeah, he has really dropped back at this point, hasn't he?
Well, you can see the difference between Jeff Lewis's truck and Ed's, just the difference in how he's moving around. So he's obviously got something.
He's holding it back.
This is Brian Collins, car number 804. And this is Class 8 now.
So here we've seen the buggies, the trophy trucks, and the Class 8 all together now coming through the stretch.
They're all being passed by each other, and they're all going to get around each other throughout the day. This is 805. It's Dale White. This is the Chevrolet 803 of David Westham. See, the tires go all the way down. And this is car number 800, the Duralast AutoZone car of David Ashley. This vehicle's moved up 7 places now in Class 10. That's the Pontiac powered entry, car 1007 of Rod Muller. And this is the VW powered entry, Bill Hernquist in 1004. He's trying to chase Rod Muller down. And moving up in the dust is Jim Zupanovich in 1003, and he's got a Toyota power plant. Toyota is now stepping up through the TRD organization and powering more of these vehicles.
I thought Volkswagen had dominated this category at one.
Well, they did for a long time, but now Toyota's stepping the thing up, and they're really involved in off-road racing. This is another Toyota entry, 1005 Larry Fodrow. Once again, they're limited to 1,650 cc's, so any kind of power plant that fits in that description. Last car that we see is 1049 in Class 10, and that's Ron Harmon with a Volkswagen powered entry.
Charlie, couldn't help but notice the very narrow tires specifically of the Class 10 buggies here, these vehicles. I wouldn't think that a tire that narrow could put up with such power.
You'd be surprised. These things will last the entire race, and they don't carry a lot of weight. Meanwhile, out in front, in a Jeep Cherokee trophy truck, the Score News crew caught up with Kurt at his combination home and race shop in Cherry Valley, California.
Located on 3 rural acres, LeDuc's California Pre-Fun Race Shop has 7 full-time employees and a complete fabrication and engine building facility. We managed to get Kurt and his wife Nancy to sit down for a few minutes and then ask them how it all started.
I first got involved with motorsports before it was motorsports, when it was Saturday night stock car racing. Going with my parents, Riverside Park in Agawam, Mass, and got involved, wanted to get more closer to the cars, see how they were put together. Got out of high school everybody's looking for something that they're really good at, to spend their life doing, and got involved with building parts for trucks in the early 70s.
We used to race in like North Franklin, Connecticut and things like that. It was mostly, through the woods and bumping trees, with the sidebars.
Got involved with Score back when Roger Mears was one of the best, Walker Evans was one of the best. Came out to the Mint 400, towed out with a couple of my guys, never had seen a desert, built a car, a Jeep.
By Kurt coming out here, I think it was the best thing that ever happened to him. And when he did make that phone call to me to say, Nance, I made the decision, let's go. His little speech here about me coming, it's true. And I didn't hesitate for a minute.
I'm definitely excited about my sport because I'm living my dream. This is what I wanted to do. It's like if you build it, they will come. That's the way this has evolved for me. I've had my head down and I've worked hard at it.
My husband dedicates 24 hours of his life to this.
And when I decided to make the move to California with the wife and the family, that I knew it was going to take a serious amount of dedication. So I came here with a plan to put my race facility where my home was so that my kids could be involved in it. My wife has always been involved in my program. And so it's kind of evolved that way so that I can spend the amount of time it takes. I can still be involved with taking the kids to and from their events at school and RC car racing and mountain biking and still be 100% dedicated to the sport.
By my kids traveling with us at all times to all the races, they've learned different ways of life in Mexico, you know, to Las Vegas where, you know, the glitter and the glamour of everything.
But to me, winning the races is paramount. The championship, you know, it means a lot. It looks good on a resume, but in your heart, it's winning the Baja 1000 or winning Parker, any of the events. You went out there on that given day, nobody was better than you. And as a team, and at Tadanovi and the guys in the shop, that's what racing's about. The championship is nice, don't get me wrong, but it's not my goal in life.
If someone said, you know, if you could change this all, would you? I wouldn't change anything, any minute, any time, anything, any place I've ever been. This has just been such a good experience for Kurt, for me, my boys, Valerie. I wouldn't change a thing.
It's because in the day we're in of sponsorship and doing the right thing and saying the right thing, still we're emotional people. We get out of those cars with a lot of emotions. I'm excited when I get out of the car. When people say, I saw you at a race, and I said, was I on the roof? You know, did I win the race? I mean, if I'm on the roof, I won the race. And I want people to understand that, you know, I'm still excited about it. This is a great sport.
The way things are going now at Parker, Kurt may be doing another roof dance. We'll be right back.
LeDuc's running along a sand wash, and judging from the spectators, it looks like he's heading for a pit stop. Let's listen to team owner Clive Skilton as he plans the stop.
They're down in the wash and they're going to check on the one car. We have to have a 5-minute lead on him to change tires because he has a 4-minute handicap on us because he was the 8th car to lead.
Right.
So if we don't have 5 minutes, we're not going to change tires. But if we got 5 or 6 minutes,
we can do it.
So we'll wait and see.
Charlie, all these guys have got to stop for gas and tires. Give us a rundown on what happens in a pit stop.
Well, in a pit stop, they're coming in and they're getting various problems taken care of, and they're also replacing tires if they need to, and they're also getting fuel, oil, water inside the cockpit because they all have little containers that they drink water in because you got to replenish all your body fluids while you're going through this heat and this pounding. And they generally get an overview of the car during the pit stop by the various people that are outside the vehicle. The driver and the co-driver stays inside so you don't lose any time once everything's done and you can get back out on the race course. The crew chief is out in front making sure that there's no accidents and the car is pulled out of the pits and back out on the race course.
Nancy, we just need to know from the guys in the wash when that car comes through.
You bet.
Yeah. The complexion now, all we had to worry about before was just the other trophy trucks. Now we're running in the main event with everybody else. We have to start monitoring the other cars which are fast, like the Class 1 buggies. You know, some of these guys have got some real fast cars.
First in Class 1, car 106 leaves the pits. That's Troy Herbst. We got action in the Herbst pits. This is car number 19, the trophy truck, and it's in for shock replacement. You see him replacing the shocks on the bench out in front, which is a terrible job in a shop, let alone in the desert, as Brian Collins, leading in Class 8, 804, comes out of the pit area. Jeff Darling comes in car number 113 on a rope, obviously needing some repairs in the pit area. I'm sure he'll be out. A lap down is car number 19, leaving the pit area, Ed Herbst. We find out what happened.
We had a little shock problem, but we solved it. Actually didn't solve it, but we're working on it, and we're going to try and get around and get some points, go for the championship for the year.
Dale White in car 805, Brian Collins' teammate, leaves the pit area out onto the Parker course. And leaving Team McPherson pit area 700, Larry Rossler. Team manager Jerry McDonald explains what has happened to the trophy truck number 72.
Well, it looks like we had a little engine problem out there. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but the oil pressure seemed to drop down, and they stopped, and it seemed to be one cylinder not working, and it seized up. So right now it's out there, and I'm in here, and I really don't know what the deal is with it, but it won't turn over. So it's kind of the end of the day for them, I think.
While the competition at trophy trucks is having trouble, it looks like Kurt LeDuc is having fun. He is flying across this section of bumps, probably going about 80 miles an hour or more. Looks as though he really wants to do that roof dance.
Charlie, tell us what it's like at the finish line of an off-road race.
Jorge, the finish line of an off-road race is very, very emotional because as the driver and the co-driver approaches that finish line, it's a culmination of a lot of hard work that's gone on for months, even years. And now they know that their family, their friends, and their sponsors are there to give them the accolades that they've worked so hard, and they've beat the desert. And that's what the finish line is all about.
Kurt LeDuc is heading for the finish line in first place in the trophy truck class. But first place overall is yet to be decided. With the final run along the Colorado River, he makes his way through the bales of hay after 400 tough, grueling desert miles to be flagged the winner by his wife, Nancy. Kurt LeDuc, the winner of the trophy truck class at the 1997 Parker 400, doing it in 5 hours, 49 minutes, at an average of 58 miles per hour. That's fast, Charlie.
Jorge, I got to tell you, we're still waiting on Class 1, and it's a matter of time. So it's anybody's game for overall vehicle.
Hey, good job, buddy. The good start of the year. That's a great way to start.
It's fantastic. Fantastic.
And now let's get closer to the truck and get a word from Kurt.
Anything go wrong? Anything?
Nothing.
Any excitement?
This Donovan ran Cherokee, ran flawless. The guys at the shop did a great job. You know how you spell fun in Parker? BFG.
Oh!
These tires were so good today. It was unbelievable. We changed one set just as a courtesy thing on the last lap. We had such a big cushion, and you know I knew the buggies are pushing us for the overall, but we were going to settle if you would, for trophy truck. But no, this Donovan Grand Cherokee just ran flawless, perfect.
So you never got out?
Never got out. We ran a little low on fuel coming in on the first lap, and we got a splash in the wash, and that's all we really had to do, you know.
Jorge, that's Herbst. Ed Herbst, driving the horse-powered Class 1 buggy number 106, is the first Class 1 racer across the finish line.
Now this is a timed race. Finishing order does not always determine the winner. The clock does.
That's right, Jorge, because you remember our leader in Class 1 is car 124, who started 9 minutes later in car 106.
And there's Kurt LeDuc doing his infamous roof dance. Right now, let's talk to Troy Herbst.
This year, the course was extremely fast, a lot of roads, and we had one flat tire, and just trying to get around the traffic all day long, and we pushed it as hard as we could go today.
Jorge, while you were talking with Herbst, Herder snuck in the back door to first overall and first in Class 1.
My worst problem, I think, was starting, way in the back, was getting an unlucky draw. But I worked my way through all the traffic and all the dust, and just kept at it. Didn't have any flats, almost, but didn't have any flats, and just kept a steady pace, gassed twice, and then came in.
Coming down the Colorado River, heading toward the finish line. In third place in Class 1 is Bob Gordon in car 119. He's been racing since 1978, and he's the father of Indian NASCAR driver Robbie Gordon. He's 12 minutes behind the leader, Herder.
Not everyone gets to cross the finish line in style. Some just want to get back home. But there are a number of racers still out on the course and a lot of action yet to come. We'll be right back right after this. Charlie, while all these guys are celebrating, there's still a lot of racers out on the course.
That's right, Jorge. This is Dale White in 805. He started 5th in class, and he's in the lead in Class 8. Our leader in Class 10 buggies is Rod Muller, a Pontiac dealer from Riverside, California. He started in 7th position and now leads his class by 2 minutes. This is Larry Rossler driving the Class 7 700 vehicle. He's a 10-time champion in Baja, and he's driving a great race. Leads Class 7 in this Team McPherson.
Now here, 103, that's Corey Sheeler finishing 6th. Here we have Mark and Corky McMillan. Number 109.
Coming into the finish line, Jorge, is 8:05, Dale White. He's finishing over an hour ahead of the second place car, and he's beat his teammate, Brian Collins, who was in the lead earlier in the day. His total running time, 6 hours and 13 minutes.
7. You're the first 8. This is great.
Good job.
Patience. Patience. I told you, take your time. Patience.
We didn't think it was going to come to us, but it finally did.
Good man.
And Charlie, here's our Class 10 winner from Riverside, California, Rod Muller, with a time of 6 hours and 35 minutes. And just 2 minutes behind the leader in the Class 10 second place finish is Rob Harmon.
And now let's talk with our Class 8 winner and our Class 10 winner.
Oh, it was great. We had no problems at all. The Chevrolet ran good, and I got to thank the Westward Ho for making it happen, our sponsor, and it was great. We just took our time, and they fell away slowly. We weren't sure at the last lap. That's usually when it happens, and that it came true.
My partner had no problems, and I had 2 flats, and I lost the power steering probably about 3/4 of a lap ago, and that was a little rough on the arms and the thumbs. But other than that, the motor ran great, the car worked fantastic, so this was a good day.
Coming into the finish line is Team McPherson, 4-time Class 7 Chevy S10 truck champion, trying for an unprecedented 5 championships. Riding along with Larry Rossler is Benny Metcalf, 24 years co-driving and or chasing with Team McPherson. And now let's talk with Larry Rossler.
So I had a great time. I mean, it was great. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the year. And Parker's a great race course and a good way to start the year. It has its really rough parts, but it has a lot of them really fast, smooth roads, and it's just a blast.
Charlie, it looks as though the crew is all important in off-road racing.
Very true, Jorge, and that's why Score News is giving special recognition for an outstanding crew member at every 1997 Score off-road race.
The Mechanic of the Race Award is brought to you by AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts.
The first winner of the Mechanic of the Race Award goes to Daryl Putman of the Terrible Herbst Oil Motorsports team for his outstanding job of getting the Herbst trophy truck back into the race after breaking a shock. He changed the shock, no easy task in a shop, let alone in the middle of the desert, in record time. Congratulations to Daryl Putman, the AutoZone Mechanic of the Race.
The Score race results are brought to you by BF Goodrich Tires, when you're ready to get serious.
us the latest on what's going on.
Well, Jorge, there's a lot going on. First of all, I got to tell you that Team McPherson Motorsports is building a brand new Class 7 truck. Right behind us on a platform sits a bare frame, and from scratch, they're going to build this truck.
This is a preview of things to come in Class 7. After 4 championships, it's time for something new for Team McPherson. After a rule change concerning suspension, you are seeing the new generation of Class 7 trucks. The fuel cell's in place, the platform of the chassis, the floorboard, the engine block, and the transmission. Testing will begin at the end of the year.
For another behind-the-scenes look at what's happening in off-road racing, we visited the Terrible Herbst Oil Motorsports facility in Huntington Beach. Look at how clean this place is. I wish my kids would keep their room half as clean as this.
Well, it's not only clean, but it's got a new concept in building Class 1 cars. They're using the same design and the same criteria that their trophy truck has to build the Class 1, to reduce the amount of spare parts that are in the chase vehicles as they go around the race course once the car's being built.
Not only good strategy, but extremely cost-effective as well.
And look at the workmanship. I mean, it's just immaculate.
This place is clean. Here's the electronics to the truck, which I understand 4 wires are disconnected and out it comes. That's all it takes.
Reduces the amount of pit stop time.
Our Score News crew got an exclusive first look at Ivan Stewart's new V8-powered trophy truck. This year, the Toyota racing program will limit itself to just the Baja 500 and the Baja 1000.
And that's because, Jorge, they're using this as a test bed for the new V8 that will show up on the streets in 1998.
Here's Ivan the Iron Man Stewart to tell us about his sensational truck.
As you know, we're only doing the Baja 500 and the Baja 1000 this year. And then looking at what we're going to do for Toyota will do for off-road racing for 1998. So I am excited. It's been waiting a long time to get to get the V8, and we've been very competitive with the V6 in the past, but I think now we're going to see the, back up there again. We were always competitive, but we relied a lot on Cal Wells and precision preparation and Toyota's engineering and the sophisticated truck that we had. But now with the V8 and all the rest of the package, I think that we're going to see us going to be pretty dominant, I feel, this year, and especially next year.
Parker 400's in the history books. Charlie, what'd you think of the race?
Jorge, I thought it was a great race. Clean, safe, a lot of competitors, a record number, record speeds, and I think everybody's looking forward to our next race, which is the first race south of the border, San Felipe 250.
Well, I got a kick out of it, and I can't wait for San Felipe. I know you don't want to miss it. On behalf of Charlie Engelbart and myself, Jorge Jarrin, for Score News, we'll see you in San Felipe, our next big race. Parker is the first of 7 races in the SCORE International Series. SCORE News will be on hand to bring you coverage of all 7 races during the 1997 season.
SCORE News has been brought to you by Toyota Motorsports. Our minds are always racing. And AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And Bilstein, the world leader in gas pressure shock technology.